Hi, everyone. Welcome to this week's live. As you guys know, every single week here at Prospera Key, we talk about a specific topic that many people are thinking around a specific time in the year. And this week, as you guys all know, last week was the deadline for taxes. The 15th, Wednesday 15th was the deadline, and we had a lot of things going on, a lot of commotion, client level, company level, agent level, just overall, a lot of beautiful things happening from this last season. And today, you probably noticed that I am just going to be on my live on the live alone today. The reason why is that we're going to just talk a little bit about what we've seen in the season and what we are looking to help you guys with for the future, and what things to keep in mind of for next year. And there's a lot of different healthy habits that anybody can attain at this point in the year. Yes, we're in April, but we're still technically in the first quarter. We're kind of closing up this first quarter. But one thing that I know is that if you put your mind to it and you're intentional about making a change on your finances, or just being organized, or being better with the resources that you have, you can absolutely make the change now. And that will cause a better result for you and your family for next year. So, first of all, before we actually get into the topic, just to introduce myself, if you do not know who I am, my name is Nicole Gonzalez. I usually am hosting the live every single week where we will have a special guest on, but this time I'm going to be talking about the topic, right? We're going to get into it. You're going to get a little piece of my mind today, but just a little bit of a background on me. I came into the life insurance industry. Yes, my start was in the life insurance industry at the age of 18. And I got my license. I was a licensed agent at the age of 18. Starting at that, entry into the finance industry, I came across a lot of different things, in the industry. You're working with different kinds of clients, and a lot of clients need help with this and they need help with that. And there's a lot of products and resources and services that are in this, generalized financial field. So, being that life insurance was my start, I still am licensed. I actually came across taxes, and I quickly started my journey in taxes. I think now 4 or 5 years ago. I really need to get to the bottom of the calculation of how long I've been in the industry. But basically, the reason why I ended up getting into taxes was because I was coming across so many families that were needing help in other areas, in different areas of their finances. And I just wanted to be the person that can give them a well-rounded suggestion, recommendation, professional recommendation, or even help in that specific service. So, I was actually introduced into taxes with Daniela Science. She is also one of the co-founders here at Prospera Key. And yeah, we have this amazing team: Marvin and Dee Del Valle, Malia Del Valle, Miguel Marrero, Daniela Science, and myself. And together we created this beautiful thing called Prospera Key. And all of the agents that are with us are just absolutely amazing. The journey has been amazing. And yeah, that's a little bit of what I do. I do help very heavily in the tax division. Training our agents, bringing them up, and more on the marketing side as well. But I am a certified tax preparer. So I actually work my own clients in the tax division. I work my clients in the life division, all of those things. But if you do not know what Prospera is, just to give you an idea, Prospera is one company, many solutions. And it literally is the answer to a lot of our clients' prayers that came to us for a specific service. So we offer all services within house. Our agents have this beautiful gift to refer within the company and keep everything within, Prospera, their clients. It's amazing. High retention, clients being able to be helped in many ways, and that also benefiting the agent as well. We do life insurance, health insurance. We do taxes, business taxes, personal taxes, credit repair, debt solutions, and we also do business formation services. So LLC creation, 1099 preparation, retirement, annuities, just everything. And I always tell my clients that just finance, just call me because I have the answer for you, or I know somebody with the answer for you. So let's talk about the topic. And if you're not aware, today's topic is about, what is the actual real work that happens after tax season. And many of you guys probably went through so many different emotions during this time, going through tax season and really, coming across the reality, right? That you're just not as organized as you expected, or that you thought you were, right? So we have a lot of clients that at this point, they went through that stress. They found out for themselves that they are needing a little help, right? And here are the steps on, how, I guess, our advice, right? How you could better structure, financial habits throughout the year and planning ahead for the tax season versus reacting. So here is something that we have been instilling in our agents, outside of our agents, which what we want to instill overall as a company is that we're not a company that works by seasons. We do not focus on season to season. We are all year round help. So many of you guys probably are wondering, well, taxes, that the deadline is April 15th. You no longer can help people. No. There's lots of people who have gotten extensions. There are lots of people that are late filers. There's a lot of people that need changes, amendments. There's a lot of people that haven't filed taxes for several years and they need to get up to date. We also have individuals that need help in those other areas, right? So we offer, we opened up this beautiful division, the life insurance division and the health insurance division, now the bookkeeping, right? So all throughout the year, we are providing solutions to our tax clients that are normal W-2 people, business owners, solo entrepreneurs, all different kinds of people we work with. But it really is, my point to you that our help doesn't end at tax season. Our help continues on throughout the entire year. So, being that tax season was wrapped up and, a lot of people realized how stressful they were because of the deadlines and the documents and then the last minute pressure, here is, I say it like this, a come to Jesus moment. You need to regroup yourself and decide how you want to move forward with the remainder of this year, how you want to set up your structure, how you want to, put yourself in a better position that you're not coming across the situation again next year. Because, taxes it seems to be like the finish line of every single year. If I get through tax season, then I'm not stressing anymore. And that goes for all of our clients, right? But the conversation isn't over. Let's fix the issues. So if you are thinking, well, I filed my taxes and I'm done until next year, remove that out of your vocabulary, remove it out of your, the conversations that you're having to yourself and to the people that depend on you. You need to focus on your finances. You need to be consistently having a habit of restructuring and correcting things that will affect you from last year. So you have to understand that tax season is your feedback. It's not the end, right? It's not the end goal. Just, get past tax season and that's it. No. it is not the end. So, I'm sure that when you came across filing your taxes, you realized, wow, my organization sucks, my planning sucks. Something happened with the withholding in my W 2 job, and I was in a bad position this year. I didn't have any opportunities for credits or deductions because I had poor planning. Those things are realizations that you have the power and opportunity to right now fix it for next year. So, we're going to talk about how it's important that you don't ignore those things and you put it on the back burner. You need to normalize the experience that, if you felt that tax season was stressful for you, how are you going to make it better so that every single year you are prepared and you're not reacting? So, I would just say I did have a lot of clients that they felt very stressed and pressured until the end of the season, that they feel like really confused at this point. They felt like that they did something wrong. And, the good news is that because of the feedback that tax season gives you, in regards to your numbers, if you're owing or you have a lot of refund, which people kind of misunderstand that that's a good thing or a bad thing, depending on your credits, right? The thing is that you could change it. You could change it. You could change whatever result you did receive from last year. So, small habits of paying attention, and I let's talk about the detail, right? And different scenarios we have seen while we were closing the tax season. We seen a lot of individuals where their job, their employer, however they had set it up, was not taking enough taxes out of their W-2s on a monthly basis. So there's a difference. Obviously, when you are a W-2 employee and you're receiving your gross income, there's that portion, right, that you don't like where you see on your pay stub that they deduct so much money. And I'm not talking about the deduction, the entire deduction as a whole. We're talking about the federal income withholding, right? The tax withholding. That is the number that you have to pay attention to that could either make it or break it for you for tax season. So, a lot of my clients that unfortunately they owed the IRS because that was not properly set up. I had scenarios where individuals were tax exempt, and then comes to find out they thought it was a good thing. That comes to find out that during tax season, they owe a good chunk of money back to the IRS. Those things can affect you. And most people are like, well, how do I even track that? How do I even know if they're taking out enough? How do I know if I'm not just finding out until the next tax season? There is a way. It's the pay stub. Don't look at the deductions as a whole. It would be the federal taxes withheld. The federal taxes withheld is the key word that you're looking for. Also, if you work in a state where there is state income tax, you do want to pay attention to that withholding as well. But basically, what you're going to do is calculate how much of federal taxes withheld they're deducting from your gross income, your monthly or biweekly check. So obviously, we always tell individuals you definitely, and this is a minimum, to be very honest, you want to make sure that the withholding is close to minimum 10% of your income. And that is just a good way to really be in that basis, that balance of whether owing or not, owing. You don't receive too much, but you also don't owe, right? If you are hitting higher incomes, you definitely want to be not too conservative, right? With the percentage that you are having deducted from your paychecks. That is W-2. We're talking about W-2 individuals, employees, right? But let's talk about business owners. Business owners, pay attention. Either get your quarterly taxes set up. Now is the time to pay your taxes quarterly, or make sure that you're setting aside enough of your income to be able to pay off the balance due that comes the following year during taxes. Or make sure that you're not leaving any small expense that you think is a small expense pass you by. Why? Because those small expenses, they accumulate and they become bigger and they become bigger, right? So you want to make sure that you're not having that issue where you're not tracking your expenses for your business. You're not keeping receipts. You're not keeping a report as a whole of your expenses, because those things, we tell you to track them for a reason, because you have the opportunity to deduct it and reduce, the total income that you're making for the year. That way you're not getting taxed fully, right? From the quote unquote profit or income that you made from the business. So make sure that you are keeping track of those things. Also, you're setting money aside. So that way, when tax season rolls around again, you're not surprised. You know, you have the money, you can grab it, you can make the payment, and you don't have a continued debt with the IRS. Or let's say the amount that you thought was going to be owed ended up being smaller. So the large savings that you set up for yourself all throughout the year, setting money aside, is now yours. So do what you will with that. So I want you guys to keep in mind that you have many opportunities to work with it. The most important thing that you do not want to have with the IRS is debt, right? Accumulated debt year after year. And you want to avoid penalties and interest. So the best way, right, to avoid getting so much accumulated is by making a payment. That's the point. So truly just try to organize yourself a little bit better. That way you're not caught by surprise. W-2 employees, pay attention to your pay stubs, because it's absolutely necessary for the industry to make sure you're not coming across those issues year after year. But I also want you guys to understand that these simple habits of staying organized, tracking your income and expenses, checking your numbers monthly will put you in a better position just as an individual, or even as an entrepreneur, a business owner stance. It's always going to put you in a better position because you're not taking 10 steps back every single year for taxes, okay? Also, if there are any areas where you feel like, okay, Nicole, I have this kind of business, I want to have a thorough tax strategy. The good news is that we do help with tax strategy throughout the year, tax planning, and we have this beautiful department that we call our bookkeeping department that is actually led by Miguel Marrero. He's the head of the bookkeeping department here at Prospera. And he does have a team of bookkeeping leads. So that is Fati Ayala and Delia Rodriguez. So make sure that if you feel like it's too much to take care of on your own, that you get to have a consultation, a free consultation, to see what it would take for you to receive help. Okay. So truly just don't ignore it. Also, another issue that I did come across a lot throughout the season with my agents is that they realize, with their, I'm sorry, not the agents, the clients, that their employer finding out that it's not enough being withheld from their paychecks, or they're tax exempt by mistake, right? Now is the time to make the changes with your employer. So if you see a deficiency that not enough money is being taken out of your income, now is the time to go to HR or to your management and ask for the W-4 form and make adjustments to that. Every employer, every state is a little bit different. So make sure that you do get assistance. And once you ask for that change to be made, that you also track it and pay attention that it was actually made in your pay stub. So the following pay stubs that you do receive, look for that keyword that I had mentioned. Make sure that they are deducting enough or more, and it was actually corrected. Because most of the time what happens is that They make the change, and it turns out that it wasn't finalized in their system. And then it comes to find out, like, when it's tax season again, my client comes to me and says, "Hey, Nicole, like, I made this change. Like, why didn't it go through? Like, I finalized it. I gave them the paper, and why am I still owing?" Sometimes it's just they don't go through the whole process. So you have to pay attention to that. Do your own due diligence. Do not depend on, your employer to make the changes. Be sure of it. Okay. Also, keep in mind that we're in April, so any changes, excuse me, if you had any issues last year for this tax season where you were owing and you're still with that employer, any changes that you make now in April will positively affect the outcome for next year. So don't wait until June, where it's 6 months into the year and then you only got 6 months of changes left for the rest of the year. No, no, no. Like, make the changes now. Don't wait until September. Don't wait until October, because you're not going to see much of a difference. You're only going to see a repeated pattern. So it's very important that you make those changes. But let's go ahead and take a look at the bigger financial picture. As you guys know, we have a lot of people that are still needing tax services. We have individuals that are needing bookkeeping services. We have individuals that are late filers, or they are needing amendments, or, they need to, still like file for the last 3-4 years, whatever, back taxes, that's what we call it. We're still offering the service. So if you still need assistance from a certified preparer, if you still need special assistance from anybody in our team, we are still offering free consultations, and that goes across the board. So you're probably coming across at the end of the tax season now realizing that, okay, Nicole, tax season is over. I paid my dues. I have my refund. But I realized that when I was talking to you, there was a lot of things that I'm still needing help with. I have individuals that opened up to me about, some of the debt issues that they have, past debt that they have with credit cards, or medical expense debt, those things. I've also come across individuals that needed help with credit repair because they're planning, their taxes are set up a specific way because they're planning to buy a home in the next 2 years or 3 years, whatever. I have individuals that they're realizing that there's this beautiful product called life insurance, right? That would protect their spouse, because the spouse is a homemaker, whether husband or wife, is the homemaker, and they're the only ones working, and they want to make sure that if, God forbid, something happens to them, they're still going to have the same quality of life that they had prior. So many questions are being brought up. Many leaks are becoming visible in the financial eye, right, of a specialist. And the good news is that we support the next steps to be able to help you with those issues, those concerns, to provide the solution that can help you have a well-rounded financial image throughout the entirety of the year. So as you guys know, our life insurance division, and I think most people don't realize, is that life insurance isn't just when you pass away. Life insurance is when you get sick, when you pass away. It can also aid in retirement. It can also allow you to pull from the policy if you get sick with a terminal, chronic, or critical illness. There's many things you can do with life insurance. There's opportunities for cash value. It can cover funeral expenses. It could cover major expenses. The doctor told you that, you only have a couple months or so to live, and you decided that you want to take your whole family on vacation. Life insurance is evolving. And if you are not realizing that, it's probably the best bet for you right now to sit with a specialist and learn as to what life insurance can help you do with the goals that you have for your family. So I want to make sure that all of you guys are fully aware that there are many solutions here at Prospera, whether it's credit repair, debt solutions, life insurance, health insurance, retirement solutions, bookkeeping, all of those beautiful things. And we are the company that is here ready and able to assist. So once you start paying attention to your year round and you want to continue to have a proper financial structure for you and your family to get a bigger picture, it's possible with us. And it's not just about taxes. It's about building stability. It's about staying organized, and it's about protecting what you're building. So what you want to do is move out of the reaction that you probably had in taxes and move into being proactive, okay? Proactive in how you are setting up the foundation, the financial foundation for your family. So now that we kind of discussed some of those things, I want to also let you guys know, if you're not aware, here at Prospera Key, we are offering solutions year round, but we are also opening the doors for any individuals that want to get started with us to learn how to make additional income to what you're already doing without having to leave your current job or your current career. If you want to dip your toes into this beautiful industry we call the finance industry, the financial service industry, you are in the right place. We're currently opening tax workshops for our tax division. This division is led by Daniela Science and many of our team members. So we are offering the opportunity for you to come in, get certified, have all of the things available to you. So we have everything to offer in regards to marketing, in regards to software, in regards to training, in regards to an email domain and the PTIN registration. All of those things are included, and we're only offering it for $99. So this is a one-time fee. It is not a yearly fee. It's not a monthly fee. This is a one-time registration. And if you want to learn more of what we have to offer in that division, make sure that you send us a message here in our that you send us a message here in our Facebook, a direct message through Facebook. And also, we are opening the opportunity for our life insurance division here at Prospera. So if you are interested in getting a license in the life insurance and health insurance division, now is your time to send us a message, because we have so much to offer, so many tools, so much marketing. I take care of the marketing for the company, and honestly, it's ridiculous what we're offering for our agents, and it's really exciting. So if you are somebody that wants to know how to have a long-term career, a career that's also not seasonal, right? Well, taxes isn't seasonal either, because we're helping all throughout the year. But just in general, if you want to learn taxes or life, now is the time to learn. We actually have a weekly company overview where we talk about everything we have to offer, and who we are, what we do, and what is the benefit to you. So if you are interested in learning more, make sure that you send us a message. You can put info tax in the comment section, or info life in the comment section, or you can send us a message directly. That way we can get you connected. And the life division is just expanding. I'm super excited because all of our agents in the tax division, they're now converting into our life, and it's just beautiful, everything that's happening. I'm so excited, so proud of everybody that's involved in this beautiful project, Prospera Key. Marvin Del Valle, Dee Del Valle, Malia Del Valle, they're all heading the life insurance division, and there's amazing things to be announced. So with that being said, guys, if you are interested, make sure that you message us. I am going to close out our live, and just know that every week on Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern time, We will be talking about a new topic and we might have some special guests. So make sure that you tune in again next week. Have a good one, guys.